This weekend is the last townwide garage sale of the year. Let's hope we can find some cool stuff to flip on eBay for a profit. Let's go. Good morning. How are you? Good. Want for this the Coach bag?
That one is a real Coach.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 20.
Okay. There you go. Thank you so much. Morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. I grabbed two sweatshirts.
Okay.
And a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt. Okay, so seven?
Seven.
Okay.
You
Perfect.
want a bag?
No, that's okay. Just toss it in my trunk. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you.
Now, before we hit up this next sale, if you're new here, I'm also collecting the top 100 N64 games of all time, but the catch is I can only spend up to 10% of the profits I make on eBay to buy new games for the collection. I'm missing just one final game, but it has been impossible to find a copy in my area. We'll see if we can get lucky this week, but for now, let's keep hunting. Is this your sale?
Yeah,
How much for these?
$20.
Each?
No, together.
Together, okay. Do you have somewhere I could just plug it in and just see if they turn on?
What?
Do you have a plug?
Not here.
Is there one on the side of the house maybe?
No.
Well, I'll get this one. 10, right?
Together I say 20.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't want that one.
Huh?
I would just want this one.
Give me 12.
Okay. All right. That's fine. Thank you. Hi. How much did you have on the box here?
All the Legos?
Yeah.
It's 100.
100 for the whole box. Okay.
Yeah. They're assembled, but all the instructions are in here.
Okay. Don't let anybody else take them. I'm gonna look around a little more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
While you're here, you better take
And how
it.
about this?
Yeah.
What do you want for this little guy?
3.
Okay. All right.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Good morning. Today is Monday, and we had another very nice weekend of sales. We have 18 things that we've got to pack up today. This past weekend was officially the final townwide garage sale. There might be, some like one-offs here and there, but like big townwide where I can go to like 20 or 30 in one day. This past weekend, Saturday, was the final one. The sourcing is probably going to slow down a little bit, but that's okay because I still have not been doing this full time all that long. You know, if you're new here, I'm mostly working like 9 to 1 ish. I'm still a stay-at-home parent for the most part. You know, my kids are in school now, so I have a lot more time during the day to dedicate to this. You know, I'm kind of trying to turn this into my job, you know. Don't want to go back to the office and get another boring sales job. So I'm really trying to make this work. And yeah, about 9 to 1, about 4 to 5 hours a day. You know, sometimes I do a little bit extra here and there. You know, sometimes in the evening I'll like pick away at something if I'm a little bored. But yeah, about 4 hours a day. And before this, you know, I maybe had like an hour a day. And so really was only listing like a couple items a day. And now I'm like flying through this death pile. But I still have a lot of stuff that's unlisted. Electronics, clothing, a ton of Legos that take a lot of work. I haven't even gotten to those yet. Probably have like a good $3,000 to $5,000 worth of Legos sitting in my basement that I've sourced over the last like year and a half. And, you know, list some here and there. But yeah, this week I think, you know, the sourcing is going to slow down, but my listings are growing. So I'm going to try and continue to get through as many of the electronics as I can. But today is going to be mostly a packing day because I've got, like I said, 18 things I've got to pack up. And a lot of them are pretty big, unfortunately. I've been trying to stay away from larger items. But, you know, if the profit's like $20 plus, I do think it's worth it. You know, if it takes you like 10 minutes to pack a box, like I think that's kind of worth the trouble. But so yeah, let's jump into these 18 things that sold, starting with this Littlest Pet Shop playset. All this stuff is kind of popular right now, or at least hot on like the resale market. All this Littlest Pet Shop toys from like the early 2000s. We sold this house. I have another Littlest Pet Shop that I sold today as well, and then a bunch of figures that we haven't listed yet. So I paid $20 for this entire bin of stuff. And it's probably a good, you know, besides what already sold, maybe like another like 50 to $100 worth of stuff. So really, really good pickup. But maybe in this house I have like $5. So call it $5 and sold it for 40 plus shipping. Picked up this Coach purse from a garage sale this past weekend for $4 and sold it for $45 plus shipping. Picked up this Monster High doll for $3 from a thrift store. Picked up a bunch of other ones that sold like months and months ago, and this was kind of like the last one left over. Sold it for $7 plus shipping. Picked up this sterling silver tennis bracelet from a garage sale for $12. Sold it for $25. Thought these would be a little bit better than they were. Have about $10 into this Lego Creator skate house set. Sold it on an offer for $32 plus shipping. It's brand new sealed. This is a pretty good one. Picked this up from a garage sale for $10. It's this Vera Bradley Star Wars backpack. It's like this pretty interesting design. When you look at it from a distance, you can't really tell that it's Star Wars. And then when you look up close, there's like all these characters and stuff on it. It's pretty cool. Really good item too. Sold it for $125 plus shipping really fast. Next up, got this amp power supply. This was in a lot of RC car parts. So I don't exactly know what it does or what it's for, to be completely honest with you, but it's worth money, so I listed it. Didn't know how to test it fully, but it turns on and stuff, so hopefully it is in good working condition because I don't have the you know, the parts or whatever to fully test this, but it was a valuable item. Sold it for $40 plus shipping. Sold another Department 56 piece, $5 from a garage sale. Sold for $20 plus shipping. Sold this PlayStation 4 Pro. It is the Star Wars Battlefront 2 edition. So got a little bit more than usual for it. I have about $20 into it and sold it for $125 plus shipping. Picked up this Leadberry wool cashmere blend sweater for $5 from a thrift store and sold it for $40 plus shipping. Picked up this vintage 1968 Santa Claus blow mold from a garage sale for $2 and sold it for $22 plus shipping. Picked up a bunch of these Melissa and Doug jigsaw puzzles for $2 each from a garage sale. Sold them for $15 plus shipping. Paid up for this a little bit from the thrift store, so I was a little worried that this would end up sitting on this, but paid $18 for this Patagonia Better Sweater vest and sold it very fast within a couple days for $34 plus shipping. So again, I bought a bunch of those Department 56 buildings for $5 a piece, like a big box full of them at a garage sale. And this accessory was in there. Again, kind of got it for free. It's like one cord, so you plug it in and it lights up all your buildings. So it has like 20 sockets on it, just like keep your little setup a little more organized. And sold that for $21 plus shipping. Got this lot of two. They are called Smith Corona film ribbon cartridges. I believe they are to a typewriter, I think, but I'm honestly not entirely sure. It came in a lot with a bunch of other stuff we picked up from an estate sale. So I have 50 cents into it and sold it for 15 plus shipping. Picked up this cold culture hoodie for $5 from a garage sale, sold for 45 plus shipping. Again, got this other Littlest Pet Shop building. Again, maybe I have about $5 into it and sold it for 50 plus shipping. And again, very, very fast. And then finally, this was an item that I owned. I do not fit into this anymore. I no longer wear mediums. It would have been a good item to pick up from a garage sale or a thrift store though. It is this Gap 1969 denim jacket, sold for 25 plus shipping, very, very fast. And that is the 18 things that I sold over the weekend. Got some packing to do, so let's get to work. So good morning, today is Wednesday. Unfortunately, I only have 5 more things I've got to pack up that sold since Monday, but we've got some pretty good ones. And before we jump into that, we have another Wednesday Weird and Wacky Bolo, and you'll see why I picked this one in a minute. But today I'm going to be talking about the Christmas inflatable decorations. These are just starting to sell now with obviously the holiday season just around the corner. We're going to sort high to low here. Actually, let's check the sell-through rate specifically for used. Obviously, you might be able to get some like retail arbitrage if you're buying these on sale and stash them for the following year. But that's not really something I personally am interested in doing. Okay, so there's 2,700 pre-owned Christmas inflatables, and in the last 90 days, we have 1,000 sales. But again, these are just starting to sell now, so I imagine if you check the sell-through rate over like November, December, it's probably a lot better. And we are going to sort from high to low, because some of these are kind of crazy. I think the idea is just like, especially some of the licensed ones with ones like characters and stuff, they make it and then they don't make it again. They don't continue to have the license. So the brand Jemmy is definitely one to look out for. So sorted high to low, we've got this Nightmare Before Christmas Mayor Lock and Shock for $650, and they paid $190 shipping. We've got this Minions Naughty or Nice Slide, sold for $700. Got a couple more of the Mayors, right around $500. We've got this 2005, this one's 8 foot tall, Snowman and Penguin for $200 plus $280 shipping. It definitely did not cost that much to ship. We've got a Star Wars AT-AT Walker for $450. A Santa Claus with Rudolph for $450. We've got a Despicable Me Kevin for $300. That was one we have actually sold previously, which is why I thought of these. But yeah, that's about what we got for it too, about $300. We've got a 7-foot Minions Christmas tree with the car for $380. A 2003 8-foot Snowman for $350. A Thomas the Tank Engine for $350. A 14-foot Oogie Boogie for $350. So yeah, and it just goes on and on. So it seems like you want to look for the characters. Ones that are licensed are definitely better. So yeah, keep an eye out for these at your garage sales and flea markets. So that was Wednesday's Weird and Wacky Bolo. Let's jump into the 5 things that sold over the last 2 days. And you'll see why I wanted to talk about the inflatables, why I thought of it. We sold another inflatable today. I paid $20 for this from a garage sale. It's this Santa. He's flying in an airplane. Paid $20, sold it for $200 plus shipping. Unfortunately, this is going to cost more than $20 to ship because the person is all the way in Washington State. We sold this brand new sealed Logitech C922X Pro Stream webcam. So it's pretty recent, 2018, but again, brand new sealed. Sold that for $70 very fast plus shipping. Only have $2 into that from an estate sale. Next up, we sold this Coach bag. It is called the Alley Turnlock. It's a leather shoulder bag. Picked up from a garage sale for $15 and sold for $120 plus shipping. We've got this Atlanta Falcons jersey. Paid $10 from a thrift store for this and sold it for $40 plus shipping. And then finally, picked this up for $5 from a garage sale, I believe. Sold it for $56 plus shipping. Very, very fast. So that is everything we've got today. Let's get these packed up, and I'll see you back here on Friday. All right, so good morning. Today is Friday, and happy Halloween. Again, I've mentioned this in videos in the past, but one of the biggest pros, like the whole reason I'm doing this, right, is I got to go to my son's trunk or treat this morning. The flexibility is just like unbeatable. I'm packing my boxes. I'm going to try to get a couple listings up today. I'm not going to have much time to do it. I've got some more events for my daughter later today, and then of course we're going trick-or-treating later. So, you know, kind of a holiday today. Do the best with what you can. But we did sell 13 things since Wednesday. So a nice little week of sales here. And I haven't tallied it up, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we can hit that $1,000 goal. Let's find out in a minute. So we've got for $9, we sold this Guitar Hero DS grip. Maybe have a buck into this as part of a big video game buyout about a year ago now. Again, just selling through it slowly. Picked up a lot of unfortunately empty PS2 cases from an estate sale, but paid $10 for them and sold them for $23 plus shipping very, very fast. Picked up a pair of jeans from a garage sale for $3. It's these Levi's Premium. They're called the Ribcage Straight. They have the button fly, so they're a little bit more of a premium model, but these are not worth as much as I would have expected. Again, still really learning clothing, especially women's. I don't know anything about women's. Yeah, you know, $3 into 15 is not bad. I would still pick that up, but just not as good as I would have thought. And this is another brand that I had higher expectations for. It's very, very expensive, new, of course, Vineyard Vines. These pants I paid $7 for from a thrift store. I actually did this because the store was running if you spend $10, you get a free pair of pants. So I picked this up because I wouldn't have normally, bought this. So if you average it out, I paid about like $4 for this item, and I sold it for $18 plus shipping. So again, not bad, but not as good as I would have thought. Like, I really am aiming for clothing on like minimum $20. I'd like to get, pay less than $5 for an item and sell it for $20 plus shipping. I'm happy with that. Sold this Nike camo hoodie, picked up for $2 from a garage sale, and sold for $14 plus shipping. Again, had very low expectations for that, but still, a little $10 profit. This was in that same lot of empty cases, those PS2 cases. It is a GBA box. It's Nightmare Before Christmas, the Pumpkin King. So again, box only. On average, again, taking the total cost of the entire lot, I paid about $3 for this box and sold it for $25 plus shipping. Picked up these Vans slip-on rubber shoes. They call them the Trek. I paid $2 at a garage sale and sold them for $20 plus shipping. Paid $5 for this Polo Ralph Lauren sweater. Sold very fast for $15 plus shipping. Next up is this LL Bean full zip sweater. This one I paid $7 for. Again, I was hoping to get about $25 for this, but I am accepting offers on clothing. So I really do want to sell stuff fast, especially the clothing. If you make $10 profit on a piece of clothing, I think that's pretty good. So yeah, I paid $7 for this LL Bean jacket and sold it for $20 plus shipping. Sold another sweater from that big bundle of vintage 90s sweaters I bought. I'm running pretty low on these at this point, I think. But paid $4 for this. It's a vintage 90s J. Crew. It is a lamb's wool cashmere blend. Very, very nice sweater. Sold for $35 plus shipping. Got the best item this week. We picked up this sealed Logitech illuminated keyboard for $7 from an estate sale. I sold it for $325 and free shipping. I already packed this actually, so it's only like $7 to ship too, which is amazing. I'm gonna make like $260 profit on that one single item, which is awesome. And I don't usually I don't go through the way I do math for these videos every single time, because I think for people who are like regular watchers, that would be really boring. But in case you haven't heard that yet, when I show you that profit number on screen, that is after eBay fees. So for this Logitech keyboard, the eBay collected sales tax, transaction fees, shipping labels, ad fees, everything is taken out, and it shows you the order earnings at the bottom. So you can see, $266 after all the fees and everything. I take off my cost, so I paid $7 for this item. So that puts me at, $259. And then usually what I'll do is I take 20% off for income tax. So if it's $259 times 0.8, so that's taking off 20%, that leaves me with $207. So that's going to be the profit number you're seeing on screen is $207. I've got to pay eBay, I've got to pay the Postal Service, I've got to pay the person I bought the item from, and I got to pay the government, their portion too. So yeah, for this item, it's $207 in profit. So that's kind of my calculation in case you didn't know that. So it's eBay fees plus income tax that I actually take off. All right, so the next item, we've got this APC hoodie. Sold it for $35 plus shipping. And then the final item, I bought a huge bundle of Lego Bionicle sets, and I've been organizing them very slowly, getting them listed here and there. I have, I'm estimating about $2 a set, roughly. It might be even less than that, honestly. But I sold this Lego Bionicle Toa Hortica Matau. I don't know. Again, $2. Sold it for $18 plus shipping. And that's everything I've got today. Let's get these packed up. And we are tallying the game fund today, but unfortunately, I still am missing that one final N64 game. I'm just going to keep building the fund. I have way more than enough in the game fund to purchase Castlevania Legacy of Darkness when I find it. I really, really would love to find a local copy, but I have a feeling that is not going to happen in the next week or two because I really do want to tie it up and put a bow on this collection challenge. It's been a lot of fun. I am feeling a little sad that it's over. Still have lots and lots of time in my life to actually beat all of these games, but I am excited to start the next collection challenge. So anything that is left over is just going to roll into the next challenge. So I have some plans in mind for that. I'm not quite ready to announce that yet, but if you're excited to see it, don't forget to subscribe because that's probably going to start in the next week or two. So yeah, let me get these packed up and then we are tallying up the game fund and hopefully I hit that $1,000 profit. Let's find out. And with that, we generated $988 in profit this week, almost at that $1,000 per week goal. That also puts the game fund at $365 going into next week. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one.